You're listening to the Outdoor Podcast, proudly presented by Sig Sauer and created by BowHunterPlanet. Enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Outdoor Podcast. Myself, Tim Mazarana, along with Dave and Kevin in studio tonight. And guest on our show tonight is Kramer from ShatterProof Archery at ShatterProofArchery.com. So those that are listening to this podcast, you can go on your phone, go to ShatterProofArchery.com, and you can kind of check out what we're going to be talking about. But this stuff is pretty darn sexy, I gotta say. So, Kramer, what I wanted to kind of get to right off the bat here is how you got into making a bow. Like that's kind of a little bit of a project, you know, and to make one that looks like the quality that you're putting out there. I mean, that's got to take a little while too.
Yeah, absolutely. First, I just want to say thank you to all you guys for having me on. This is awesome. I really appreciate it. But I actually first got into making a bow. I think I was 14 years old, and I grew up in a large family. I have 9 brothers and sisters. We didn't have a lot, so I knew I couldn't buy a bow. So I was like, maybe I can make one. And so, like any normal kid, I went down to the local cemetery and cut down a tree at nighttime.
Yeah, that's normal.
Well, we didn't have any land, so we were in the city. And I saw a hedgerow, and I was like, I heard hedge can make a good bow. My grandma got me like the traditional Bowyer's Bible when I was for Christmas or something, and that was the first book I think I ever read in my life, and I probably read it 10 times. I don't know why I was so interested in it, but that's where it started, and it's well, I haven't stopped yet. So,
what was the name of that first bow that you made? Deadwood.
Firewood, really. I mean, that's how the first 10 went.
So how did the first one? How did it come out? Did it work? Because the first one I ever made, I must have been like 8 years old. Ripped a branch off of a tree and got some of my mom's yarn.
Yeah. Hey, that's the best way to start. The first one, I think on shot 2, it broke.
Did it really?
Yeah. I think the third one, I think I still got it around here somewhere, but the third one was the first one that shot and it still shoots. So
cool, man. That's awesome. All right, so walk us through this process. Walk us through the process a little bit about start to finish, as much as you want to tell us what goes into making a bow.
Yeah, what style are you looking at? Like an all wood self bow, or a whole different world getting into fiberglass bows?
No, I want to know first and foremost the wood, because I think that is the most intriguing to me.
Absolutely. So the wood bow, there's 2 different methods. One can be a single solid piece of wood, and this is really common. Probably the most common is using Osage orange, using one piece of wood. And if you're doing that, what you'll do is cut down a length of tree about 6 foot in length is good to start. You follow the bark. I could go like for an hour, so I'm going to try to skip through this, but the bark says what the grain is. So you'll follow that, cut that down, and then you'll chase a growth ring is what it's called. So you'll go down to a single growth ring. So the back of the bow is one single growth ring, which adds a lot of strength. And then you just shape it so that it bends evenly to shoot it. So that's kind of the process of a single piece wood. If you're going to use multiple materials, then what you'll do is add a backing. So you have compression on the belly of the bow pushing together. You've got tension. The fibers want to pull apart on the back of the bow. And so you can laminate different materials together to get the best performing bow. So you can have material on the back of the bow that's really good when it pulls apart, and really strong material that presses on the belly. So for example, you could throw bamboo on the back and then a really hardwood on the belly. So you'd add a backing, and you can glue things together. And then basically once it's glued together, you would finish it out the same way as any self bow. So that's kind of how the raw material wood type bows work.
Cool. So have you done traditional your whole life? Do you do compound as well? I mean, not building them, but shooting them.
Yeah. No, I've shot compound. I started with compound. Well, I kind of started with both. When I was a kid, I had a compound bow. I shot compound strictly for hunting up until About 7 or 8 years ago. And then that's when I was like, I kind of hit a point where I wasn't chasing big racks, but I wanted more of a challenge, I guess. And so that's where I was like, I want something a little harder than it feels right now. And it is way harder than I expected.
Doing a traditional.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because, you know, we've been doing this for 13 years. And back when we first started, there was no talk about traditional at all.
Not really. Yeah.
And
It was pretty dead.
Slowly over the years. And I'm going to say maybe
It's coming back.
I don't know, 4 years ago, Dave, you started to hear more. We started to hear more chatter about traditional, and then it just kind of grew and grew. And I think it's still on this growth trend.
Well, I think
coming back into
COVID helped
favor.
push it. COVID pushed it over, and back into mainstream. Not mainstream, but I would say definitely. People definitely, even myself, like I was like, oh, hey, Bear Archery, can I, when you send me a bow this year, can you send me a traditional bow? Because I want to try it, So I think it's one of those things where people just wanted that extra challenge to try something different, And then for me, the issue was like last year I tried to do it. I had my what was it, Super Grizz or something? I had the Kodiak. I can't remember which one, but I had it ready to go. And I was pretty okay with it. I mean, I wasn't like, 20 yards, I could probably make a kill, probably. But I would say like I never got the opportunity because I was hunting with my compound first. And I told myself I'm going to hunt with my compound. And once I shoot a deer, I'll switch over and just shoot a doe with this traditional bow. But
the problem with Dave and traditional, he shoots his bow like he's a gangbanger, kind of like like he's carrying a gun like this, but he does his bow like this.
Not wrong.
I love it going sideways.
The massive cant.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can turn this into. I wonder if you can turn a traditional into a crossbow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like an Excalibur, right? I mean, that's what an Excalibur.
That's how they started crossbows, man, back in the day.
Yeah.
So let's take a step back. I just kind of want to talk about how this all came about, how he got on the show, all this stuff happened. So I was on YouTube, and all of a sudden this video pops up and it says how to make your own. I think it was something like a $15 bow from Home Depot or something like that. So I'm like, wow, this looks pretty interesting, right? So I watched his video on it. And I'm like, this is freaking awesome. I am totally doing this, right? So it pushed me, it cost you money, Tim, because it pushed me into this whole thing of like, I got to get these tools, I got to get the wood, I got to get all this crap. So I buy everything I need. I start working this. I follow his video to a T. And I am in him on Instagram questions like, hey, I saw this. Is this where the mark goes? I actually got it. It looks amazing. Like I got this thing down. I took the fiberglass tape from Home Depot and I layered it, the 6 layers, and glued each layer. I mean, it took a while, but to be honest with you, I think what really turned me on about this type of stuff was like, it really kind of relaxed me. It was almost like I really enjoyed just doing it. Like, I'm like, this is actually kind of fun. Like and it was like quiet. I'm just listening to music while I'm like sanding. And I was like, at some point I was like, I actually like woodworking. This is actually really fun. So then I started getting into, before I finished it, I started like thinking about like different woods, and we talk about zebra wood and koa and all these other types of woods that somebody brought up another one the other day. Who was that? Someone brought up one that was, I never heard of it before. It was like yan or something. I don't know, something strange. And they say it's like real popular for bows or something, but I had never heard of it. So anyway, I started going to like the custom wood shop you told me about, and they had all those woods. They got like walnut, they had everything specific to, what we were trying to do here. So, but yeah, so, great job in the video. And what I thought was smart about the video, in my opinion, was that not only did you do a very good job with the video, I mean, the video was very well done, but also you provide products people can buy that if they need, like the strings. I mean, and I bought them. I sent them a thing, hey, give me this, because that to me just made sense, right? It's like, I rather buy from you knowing that you're knowing what I'm doing with it. You know what I mean? It's like a perfect scenario. So great job on that. Honestly, that was a smart move. And I thought the business side of that was genius. Like having the products, being able to sell people the products they're going to actually use to build the bow. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. The goal is to help more people enjoy more archery. And it's like reducing as much friction as possible to help people get into it. Like that's that's probably what I've done most, is help brand new people get into archery. Like, I sacrifice my expertise so that I can be a gateway for new people, so that I don't overwhelm people when they're trying to build a bow or when they're trying to get in. Of course, then some people will, you look and be like, oh, this guy knows nothing. It's like, well, you can't put everything in a 10-minute video either. So I don't really, it's like,
that's not your goal. Your goal isn't to divulge everything. Your goal is to show me how to make a cheap bow for cheap. Now, I was going to tell you, we probably need to redo the video with $26 bow nowadays.
Just because of the cost of prices.
Inflation.
It might be more than that.
Plus,
yeah.
You should just do the same video with the new thumbnail says plus inflation and then change the price.
Oh, there you go. Go change the title on it. That's great.
Do an official relaunch.
Yeah, exactly. Just do an official reaction. Use the same video, just edit out where you save the money, just change it. So that does lead me to actual questions for you, because I chose to use oak because I found it at Home Depot. It was pretty cheap and easy.
Yep.
I had bought, though, like maple and other kinds as well. I haven't done those yet. I stopped here till we had this conversation because I'm having some issues, and I figured I'd talk to you about it on the show because it'd be fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I used the oak. I added the string. I think I did everything right. I could be wrong. I might have not done enough on the limbs or whatever. But when I put the string on, it was like a 6-inch brace height. Not even. It was like a 3-inch brace height. And so that wasn't the only issue. When I tried to draw it a little bit, like if I got like this far, no big deal. But if I got like here, I heard cracking. So I was like, I think I'm in trouble. I think this thing.
You might not be. You might not be in trouble. Was the glue cracking? That can often happen. Is the glue can make some cracking noises, and it'll even have stress fractures in it, but it won't break. Now, if it's the wood, you're in a lot of trouble.
I might need to mail this one to you. I don't know what's going on. But my thought was I can put the string on and leave it on. So that was what I was going to ask you. If you put a string on and I leave it on the bow, let's just say I leave it there, what's going to happen?
A lot of set will happen, meaning eventually when you unstring the bow, it's going to kind of stay in that shape since it's wood. It's going to kind of form to that. And so if I were to leave, I've tested this out where I left a wood bow strung for 4 months to see what would happen. And it dropped about 10 pounds in draw weight. Mm-hmm. And then when it was unstrung, instead of it looking like its normal shape, it looked like it was at a 3-inch brace height because it had so much set that happened because it was under that stress the whole time. Didn't ruin the bow, but
yeah. So if I ended up, like, let's say that this was the wood cracking, right? And I'm in trouble. Does that mean, well, it could mean probably a lot of things, but like, would that mean that I overdid the limbs? Like too much wood came off the limbs?
Too much wood came off in a specific area.
Okay. So some areas weak. So I wasn't even.
The idea is that it all does the same amount of work. It's like if you, I don't know, do some sort of, if you do a deadlift or something, you don't want to use only one muscle. You're going to want to use your whole body together. Or it's the same thing, drawing a normal bow back. You don't want to just use your bicep. Like, you're not going to have any strength unless you engage that back and get it all in a line. So you want that whole bow to have the same amount of stress on it. And that's where the different materials come into play, because the stronger the material, basically the more you can mess up and have a successful bow. Yeah. The problem is like the oak or cheaper materials. If you're making a bow with that, it's just not as good. You can still make a good bow, but it's kind of weird in the sense that, you can get into it really cheap, but it's actually a harder bow to make than if you spent more money on better materials.
Yeah,
I really wish you didn't just say that to Dave.
What wood would you recommend for doing that build out of all of them? What would be your thought?
My favorite is if you use a piece of bamboo and then some really hardwood on the belly, whatever you can find. The hardest maple you can find, ash, Osage, Ipe, any really hard wood on the belly is going to be great under compression. And then bamboo's the best, easiest natural material because it's only one sheet of bamboo. You just slap it on the back with wood glue, and that's the best way to not screw up.
Now, is the grip area, is that when you say belly, do you mean the grip area or do you mean like just the whole inside?
Yeah, the whole inside, the whole side facing you.
So that means that like if you put that on, you still have to put that grip though on, right? The other piece of wood. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can do a bent handle that bends through the handle. And so you can have a bow, I mean, that bends through the handle. So it's going to be a complete even tiller. So you're going to have a lot of hand shock when you shoot that. That's doable.
Yeah.
I prefer to throw a really thick piece of wood on there. I can shape the handle to how I want it. Then I have a non-bending handle and I'm making a D style bow. And that one tends to be easier to make as well.
So for the one that's, let's just say it was the wood cracking, am I better off for a display type thing? Am I better off just to leave the string on it and just like use it as like a display, like hang it somewhere for fun? Or or is that going to make something weird happen and blow up?
Oh, no. Yeah, if you want to display it, go
That's
for
what
it.
I'm thinking, because it still looks cool. You know,
the problem with me, and this is like what I've done, is anytime I sense there's a problem, I'm just going to keep pushing that bow until I can blow it up. I'll use a tillering tree or something so that when it breaks, I'm not near it, you know, and I'm safe. But from all of the bows I've broken, which is a lot, because I do a lot of weird bow builds to test out materials, and sometimes even our fiberglass bows that we make, I've pulled that to see how far I can pull it till it breaks, because I'm gonna torture test everything so I know its limits. But you learn so much more in the breaking than in the success.
Yeah, I'm excited to try number 2 on Tim's dime. I'm good. Like just gonna keep start my second build coming up. I'm gonna do this next one on maple because I have it, and I figured I might as well just do it and try it. But I think, like I said,
what's that desk made out of there? Why don't
this desk is cheap as, dude, this thing is so light, it's garbage. It's not good wood.
I bet I could make a bow out of it.
You probably could. You could. I definitely don't. It's not even thick. It looks thick, but it's not. It's actually, I don't know if it's real wood. Looks kind of, yeah, it looks like it's real, but I think it's fake. So let's talk about zebra wood a little bit. Is it actually a very good for bows, or what's your thoughts on zebra wood?
So I haven't used it except for handle material. I have not used it for limb material. If you look up like the elasticity of it or the compression strength based on those numbers, I would have a better idea, but I honestly can't give you a great answer. I do know it's so beautiful. To put it in the handle or in the tip overlays as accents is fantastic.
Yeah.
But
I was only wondering because we had I had purchased on Tim's dime an old bear archery bow, a traditional bow. It must have cost about $5, but it was pretty expensive. But it's a 1950 and it's zebra wood and it's gorgeous. Like I keep it in my studio in my house, and it looks just, you know, amazing. And I remember thinking, like, I wonder if this is normal. Like, do people actually use zebra wood, or
are the limbs zebra wood? Or is it the handle?
No, I would have to. Well, I don't know, actually. I don't know what they glued and what they didn't. The handle for sure. The main body is all zebra wood. And I feel like those limbs are definitely one piece, but I don't know.
Because what a lot of times people will do is you can take a clear piece of fiberglass and then do a super thin veneer. So we're talking like 20 thousandths of an inch of zebra wood, add bamboo in the middle for the core of the bow, another piece of zebra wood, and then fiberglass. So the zebra wood makes it look beautiful, but it might not be there for functionality, but it would look good.
This isn't it, but this is the same bow.
Okay.
It looks to me as like there might be a different wood connection here.
Yeah. So that would be zebra wood handle. You're gonna have bamboo limbs with fiberglass limbs.
Got it. So that makes sense. So they put.
Well, that's got to be beautiful.
So they glue all that together, then cut it, and then sand it.
Well, yeah. Everyone has their different method, but yeah, basically.
Yeah. Have you ever got a chance to? Oh, sorry, over here. Have you ever got a chance to tour like a bear archeries where they make it and stuff like that?
I haven't toured bears. I've been to some other smaller companies, but not bears.
Eventually, I like to get to the bear one.
Yeah,
I'd like to see it.
Yeah,
like, dude, I want to. Can I build a bow on Florida?
Yeah.
So, how long will it take you to make a bow in a day? Like, out of all your different models, I know you make your own models and stuff. Like if you wanted to, like, say tomorrow, you're like, I'm going to build a bow. Is it like a couple week process, a couple hour? You know what I mean? How long generally?
Sure. So, pretty much every bow, I've gotten fairly fast. So I can, working hands-on time, I'll make a bow in 4 hours. If there's glue ups and I got to let it sit overnight for the glue and stuff. But 4 hours is pretty typical for me on a bow. I can make a pretty good bow in 4 hours. If I'm trying to do something really artistic, so a bunch of veneers, a bunch of different types of wood glued together for the handle, it just adds time. But something functional, I can do one in one day, especially if there's no glue ups.
That's amazing. So let's talk a little bit about your bows specifically that you're selling and stuff. So what are the models? What do we got here? Because I see a whole bunch of stuff.
We actually have one bow we sell. We call it the Bones. The reason it's the Bones is because it's the bare bones model. It shoots like a $1,200 bow, but it's much cheaper than that. And that was the idea, is what can we add into this bow that makes it shoot like a super high quality custom bow without adding fingertip overlays. The handles one type of wood, so it's so we're not having to do a bunch of laminations. So we just reduced all basically the cost and the production, but have the performance of a really high-end bow, and then trying to offer it in that middle price range. So that was the goal of the Bones. And that's the only one we've got going. Our problem is manufacturing. We're really good at marketing, and try to keep up with orders is our main thing. So
today's episode is brought to you by Sig Sauer, keeping you safe in and out of the field, but also keeping you in the field longer with Sig's lineup of cross rifles, optics, ammo, and more. Learn all about it at sigsauer.com. Also brought to you by Tinks, Dead Downwind, Burris, Vapor Trail, Stokerized, Apex Rewards, and Easton.
Last year, Reveal by Tacticam quickly became the most sought-after scouting camera in America, making cellular scouting available to any hunter. We ask our users how we can make this outstanding camera even better, and this is our answer. Introducing the all-new Reveal X. Even easier setup, better battery life, faster trigger speed, on-demand HD photos, extended detection range. This season, find out what all the buzz is about. Get a new Reveal X by Tacticam.
Enter the Apex Outdoor Rewards Turkey Challenge in your state. Over $120,000 in cash rewards. Limited number of entries allowed statewide. Every bird is a possible winner. Reward your passion at apexoutdoorrewards.com.
That's awesome. Talk to me about the different poundage, because you got a lot of different poundage options here. Like, if I want to hunt with it, let's say big game hunt with it, so whitetail deer, that kind of thing, what kind of poundage should I be working with?
Yeah, absolutely. So I believe in over 40 pounds for whitetail. If I were doing elk, I would probably go a little heavier. I've shot whitetail with 40-pound traditional bow. With full pass through, no problem. Your problem isn't going to be the penetration. Your problem is going to be the animal moving while the arrow's in flight. Even a 20-yard shot, it looks like you're, throwing a bowling ball.
I'm not shooting 300 feet per second?
No. I mean, well, that's the thing, is like with a light arrow, you can get up there, but I don't like to hunt with a light arrow, right?
Absolutely. No. Yeah. You want that impact for sure. You need to break through that skin a little bit.
Absolutely. So I've done the slowest bow. I was shooting 150 feet per second and had complete pass through with that. No problem on whitetail.
Is that mechanical or fixed broadhead?
Fixed. I like fixed broadheads. I like to get something super long, 2-3 inches long, so the taper is real gradual. Single bevel can slide right through there, but that's my preference. I know there's a lot out there. So,
all right, and so walk us through some of your other SKUs here. You got bowstrings and other accessories. Walk us through some of that stuff.
Yeah. So ShatterProof Archery started as just bowstring company. We make a lot of bowstrings. 80% of our products are bowstrings. We have guys making bowstrings every day, all day. So that's like what we're really, really, really good at. And as far as systems go, from there, we built out a leather shop. So we literally bring leather in. We cut it, we sew it, we stamp it, we press it. We do everything with leather, and we make anything from archery gloves, archery tabs, arm guards, quivers. We make all this in our leather shop. And then, so the progression was bowstrings. We have a leather shop. And now only in the past 8 months have we got into actually selling bows. And so we have in our back of one of our shops here, we have bow making as well. So
do you do all those yourself, or do you have people that do the bow builds?
I don't make the bows that we sell right now. I have a guy going full time on that.
Well, that's what you want, man, right? You want to.
No, I want you to make it. You got to autograph
it. Yeah, I'm sure Dave wants you to.
I'll make you one.
There you go.
Just let me know.
I am down. Now, So is this what you? So it looks like you guys sell part of the bamboo for this.
Yeah. So that would be just a piece of bamboo. Yep.
So like for that bow I'm talking about, with this bamboo, can this bamboo replace the fiberglass tape or no?
That's exactly what it does. Exactly.
Oh, wow.
And it's
actually
strong.
that's
I've
awesome.
made a 100-pound bow with that bamboo. It's really strong.
Really? Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow, look at, did you make this right here?
Yeah.
What is on the backside of that handle? That's like crazy.
I believe it's Ipe.
Wow, it's like purple or something. That's cool.
Oh, maybe I used Purple Heart. I've done
looks-
so many, I don't remember.
Oh yeah, it looks like, whoa, what is that? Whoa, that must be Purple Heart. Look at that.
Yeah.
Like, looks like it's bright purple. I don't know. That's sweet. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a piece of this from you guys too when I do my next one, because I think that'd be cooler just to do the bamboo on the front. Now with this bamboo, you still, I mean, like, so we talk about you talk about in the video, like you do all that tape. Let's just say it's bamboo now. Well, you're still gonna taper it though, right?
Yeah.
Like on the ends where you bring it in. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, you can go halfway down the limb, then taper, or you could do a continuous taper it all the way down. With a bamboo, you just have so much more room to screw up, which is really nice.
Yeah, I think to me,
Do you still make single stick bows?
Yes.
So
Yeah, that's the most fun. Like, it's an interesting thing turning like hobby to business, and then like, okay, where should I draw that line? Because if I don't draw the line, then hobby becomes no more. And so I've been really trying to preserve like the single stick bows is kind of like, that's still kind of hobby. Whereas if I'm going over to the fiberglass world, I'm in business mode completely.
So historically, I'm assuming like the longbow archers and Indians and stuff like those were all single stick bows, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Mainly. When did the?
Well, no, not all of them, by the way. There would
Okay.
be composite bows made from like sheep's horn and sinew and things like that.
And how long ago would that go back to?
Oh, I'm not the expert on that.
you're not a historian.
No.
That'd be so funny if Tim knew. Tim's like, well,
History,
actually,
baby.
What?
History.
no clue. No clue
Well,
whatsoever.
I asked the question, but here's the answer.
I love it. So, trick shots.
I'll know next time.
When are we gonna see some of these trick shot videos?
I've done one maybe. Do you want me to do some trick shot videos? Because
that'd be awesome.
Oh yeah.
Love to see it.
Oh yeah. I want to see this.
What do you want to see?
Okay, so we need to get you a picture of Dave's head. We're gonna start with that. And then we're gonna get you some balloons. Head. Yeah, we're gonna tape Dave's head to a balloon. Let me think about this. What do we want to fill it with? I think I want to see some trick shots where we can shoot like 3 or 4 of Dave's heads at the same time.
Okay, we can do this.
Yeah, so we'll throw some ideas out for you. But TikTok loves that stuff, man.
Oh yeah,
been, which I love because with what you're doing, the videos you're putting out, getting people into archery, I think this is so needed right now. We talk on this program all the time about getting people into archery, and somebody might be sitting there going, I would love to do this and see if I could do it myself, and they might and be successful at it and not be successful at it, probably like Dave. The first time at least. Sorry, Dave, it's true. You failed.
Your money.
You failed the first time. But as they build that kind of confidence in there, create a passion, for something that they maybe never had before. So I think it's pretty awesome what you're doing, man, for sure.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's so cool to see people like just the photos and videos, and it's like, I don't know, you don't understand the vastness of the internet until a video gets 5 million views and you're like, okay, what is going on? like even the number 5 million doesn't make sense in our brains very much. And then they're like, wait, those are people? It's just crazy. And it's such a blessing.
Yeah,
you get a lot of really good stuff going on for sure, man. So I love to see it.
I just love the fact, like I said, I think it's really smart to do the video on something, not only because about the stuff, of course, but like you do the video and you're like, you don't have to buy my string, but I do sell a string if you want it. I think it's genius. Like, I honestly, I was like thinking, I'm buying it. I am buying this string. This is the coolest concept. This guy's awesome. You know, that's what I'm thinking in my mind when I'm watching this. And then, you know, some of the other tools, the tillering tools. And then I think I watched your video on how to make the tillering thing because I built my own. And it's an okay one. I ended up using the I didn't do the notch one. I did the screw one where you screw it in and then have a screw that's got smoothness on the end or whatever. So I did it that way, and that thing works great, man. Like it's like in a little bit of a flimsy area in my basement, but it works. I like go down on it and I'm like boom, boom, boom. And that string you made is awesome. It's so easy. The tillering string. I was like, this is like the perfect scenario. I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping to dive over the table like you did and come up and fire my bow, but I was unable to because of the cracking sound.
So I got an idea. This is I think there's some collaboration here that we can get to. Is that, you know, you got a lot of really good videos out there on exactly how to do it the right way. I think we can collab on some videos on how to not do it the right way. Right? Like, you have the positive side. All right, this is what you do, and then you have the second video of this is what not to do.
Or there's Dave from BowHunterPlanet trying to make my bow, but let me show him how it's really done.
That's what I mean. Dave can mess it up and have that do not be Dave. You know, like don't be Bob Dave. Back in the day.
Hey, the average is about 3 bows broken before a successful one.
That's what I was gonna say.
Man,
I wasn't expecting that.
I really wish you wouldn't have said that either.
I'm so sorry, but that I've got 5,000 or 6,000 data points on that. Like, it's pretty accurate.
So, hey, tell us about your hometown then. So you said you're in Colorado?
Yeah, in Colorado Springs.
Do you do a lot of hunting out there, or how does that work?
Yeah, so I'm very excited too. I moved here about 3 years ago. I've taken a step back from hunting. In the past 2 years, we've had I had 2 boys, two little boys, so it's a huge blessing. Cool. I had 2 guys under 2 years old, and so running the business, and that was enough, and I wasn't going to leave my wife to go hunting. So this next September, I just put in for the draw 2 days ago. I'm so pumped. So
what, when you're in Colorado, what is it that is it mainly elk hunting, or is there other stuff that's easier, like an over the counter type tag? Like, I guess what can you hunt, or what are you hunting out there?
Elk, mule deer, black bear, pronghorn. And if I want to go, I'm on Colorado Springs is right on the edge of the mountain. So we've got flats on one end, mountains on the other end of us. So I can even go out east and go hunt whitetail along like the Arkansas River and things like that as well. And so the structure with tags, you got A, B, C tags. And so I could get a mule deer tag and a B whitetail tag, or depending on the units. And so there's more. And then you got bighorn sheep, moose. Like, there's more opportunity than you can do in a year, which is, I grew up in Kansas hunting whitetail in Kansas. And so it's quite a bit different from there, but I'm just learning the system right now. So
do their seasons do they all overlap, or are they spread out throughout the year? So you have more.
They're spread out. Like, pronghorn will start in August, and then the latest seasons will end late December. So
cool. I like it.
I decided, Tim, we're going to take a poll from the users, not the users, but the guests. And it's going to have to be offline because I don't have it ready. I just thought of this randomly, but because we're talking about Colorado, I was thinking about grizzly bears, and I was thinking about how our logo had the grizzly on it. So I kind of want to just see people's reaction when they see the grizzly compared to when they see the moose. Just to say, hey, what's your thoughts?
Just to
pick A or B?
Great idea.
Yeah, it's a great Kramer little backstory there. Is we rebranded a little bit the podcast and going through logo designs, and we collabed a bunch on it. But Dave went a little bit rogue, in my opinion, on what he told our logo guy.
I didn't go rogue.
I said a little bit. I didn't say fully. You went a little bit rogue. And he sends me over the logo design, and I'm looking at it, and like my first comment was, "Don't you think it's a little aggressive?" And he's like, "Yeah, but I love it." And I'm like, But don't you think the bear looks like it's holding two guns is gonna about to bite your face off? And he's like, well, maybe. Oh my gosh. Yes, that is the most deadliest bear I've ever seen. He's holding two guns and he's not supposed to be holding guns either. He's just holding the logo, but it looks like he's holding guns. And I just looked at it and said, listen, I love the bear thing, but
the bear's almost animated enough, though. It almost is. It almost works, I'd say.
I told you.
Is that a bear or a gorilla?
I don't care what you guys say. Me and Kramer know what's up. That bear.
I love it. I love it. So I'm gonna stick with that moose. I like the moose.
That's fair.
Anyway, yeah.
I like the moose.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Kevin.
So, quick question on traditional bows. As far as grip goes, just wondering, are there different types of grips? Because I feel like there's a lot of ergonomics, and I feel like it would be very difficult to have them all be the same. When I was sanding the one down, I'm thinking in my head, like, geez, I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. Like, this could be a long process.
Yeah. So, so the idea with grips is like the difference of the depth of the throat. So how far do you like your hand to go into your grip, I guess, is the biggest idea behind it. With fiberglass bows, we're going to be using templates or CNCs or whatever it is to get it super consistent. I think like the grip is one of the most fun parts to build on the bow, as far as you get to just customize it to what you like, if you can figure that out, I guess. But that's one of my favorite parts, because I've got like pretty massive hands. And so what I like is not what most people like. And so that's something I had to change, because I started making the bones for what I like. And then I had a bunch of people test it, and I was like, and no one likes what I like. Like, okay, let's figure out what most people like, and let's get it to that point and then move forward. So
that's cool. That is funny.
I knew you were going to bring up the grip at some point, Dave.
I was just wondering though, because they're so different. Like
every time
they are
different. Like that bow I made, the grip is like more of a long flat grip, where it's not very ergonomic. There's some ergonomics too. I did try, like I'm not like perfect at it. But then when I see something like this, this is like, oh jeez, oh my god. Anyway, when I see something like this is like, very detailed, and that's why I brought it up. And like,
that is not why you brought it up. That's the first thing on your mind every time you look at a bow.
Oh, you stopped.
So much so that, we do an annual award, right? So we have different categories, viewer-based, or voter-based awards, where they vote on the best, compound bow company, broadhead, so on and so forth. But we had to put one award aside specifically for Dave, called Dave's Golden Grip Award, because he obsesses about grips, and I love it. I love you, Dave. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I just knew at some point grip was going to come up.
Well,
as far as like,
someone's got to talk about it.
Yeah, like the way I shoot, and I think I shot similar to this with a compound. I'm not in the compound world much right now, so correct me. But having like the grip on the meat of your thumb, and you're not squeezing the handle. What I'll do with a traditional is I'll like kind of loop it like this, and then I have it on the palm. So to grab the handle has nothing to do with shooting it. It's just the one pressure point right there, And so for me, that's how I make my handles. And then you'll get someone come up and grab the handle and grip it. And it's like, well, you don't really shoot with a tight grip. That's going to cause a lot of inconsistency.
Absolutely.
But to be able to have both of that, because on a traditional bow, most people do carry the bow. If they're going into the woods or something, they grip it like it's a baseball bat or something. So to have both comfortable to grip and comfortable to shoot is kind of really hard, because a lot of times that deeper throat does feel good, because it's almost like the inverse of your hand and feels like really secure. So
Tim wouldn't know. He doesn't know grips. Hey, what is that? What does the fur ball thing do on a traditional bow? I see a lot of like the fur ball on the string.
The beaver.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is? Silencer?
Yeah. So it silences and it absorbs by vibration. That's kind of anecdotal, but I think it actually makes the bow shoot smoother. and then it makes it a little bit quieter and makes it 4 feet per second slower on average.
That's what I was going to ask. I feel like you'd be losing a little speed.
Back in the old days when I was, before they had harmonic,
Oh man, I don't
before
feel
they
like
had
over here, guys.
harmonic dampeners and everything else,
Back when they used sinew.
everybody put them little whiskers on there.
I remember the ones where you had to like strip them a little bit, then as you shot, they'd fall apart and make these whiskers. But that fur ball one's when I was thinking of is like a ball, but you know, on the trad stuff. So let me ask you this. So as far as making a bow, so if I said like, hey, you know, let's build the bow, you know, make me this bow, what would be the most cool looking woods that could be done? Like that would still hold in like a bow like that Bones bow?
I could do any wood. Because what I could do is really thin veneers and then have the veneers make it beautiful with clear fiberglass, but actually put bamboo in the center to make it functional. So
See,
I
think,
can do it. I could do anything.
I think that's what we need, Tim. I think we need a flashy, like cool looking one, you know, that
No,
would
I actually agree with
for the
that.
studio.
I think we need to design one for BowHunterPlanet and have one made like that.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Kramer's got it going. We got to talk to him about the stack of color and look to it, because I want it to be very exotic looking, not necessarily like a normal bow.
So Kramer, I love this idea, but you got to promise me one thing.
Okay.
Before you do it, make sure Dave got my approval, so it doesn't turn out like the grizzly bear.
Yeah, we got to get moose here.
Could you burn a grizzly bear into the handles?
You just put the bear in the handle.
Yes, we can.
It'd be so cool. Oh my god. That's funny. Oh my god.
I love it, man.
Yeah, you could totally, like, there's some really unique woods. One of the ones I've had my eyes on is some bloodwood. I don't know if you guys seen that, but it's like super red. I thought that would be kind of unique.
That would be sick, actually.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. And that purple heart you mentioned. I saw the purple. Like, man, that's pretty. This stands out. You know, maybe not as much of it, but like a thin layer of it or something would be cool.
Yeah.
A red or a blue or a yellow. I don't care. But I was just thinking, like, because I think about that zebra wood, and I thought, man, it looks so unique. But it's a little bit, I don't want to say boring, but because that's a bad word to use with zebra wood, but it is all one thing. It's not like it's got multiple colors to it. It's literally just a big piece of zebra wood, which still looks good, but and it's very expensive from when I went to that wood store and looked at it.
Oh yeah.
I was like, holy cow. It was like $24 a foot or something. It was very expensive. And it was just for this little piece. It wasn't even that big. I mean, I was like, dang.
And a full fiberglass bow, you can easily have a few $100s in just raw materials.
Wow. Yeah,
No
I was gonna
problem.
say,
But
easy.
you can make a one of a kind, unique bow that no one else has.
So I'm saying.
Ever.
I like it. Just make sure that I at least looked at it before Dave sends it to you.
Just send him the bill. Who cares?
Yeah. I love it. Well, Kramer, man, it's awesome to have you on, dude. It's I love this stuff. I love guys that make a business out of their hobby because you love it. And it brings new archers in, and you are out there trying to teach people what you know. And I think that's always just an amazing thing for you to do. Like you said, giving up a little bit of your expertise to kind of break that gap from people that are wanting to try to do it themselves. So I think that's awesome. So for those of you that are watching on Carbon TV, we thank you. For those of you watching on Apple iTunes or everywhere else to get your podcast, we want to thank you as well. But we definitely want you to go over to ShatterProofArchery.com and check them out. Check their YouTube videos out online as well. Really, really great products, but also some great videos where you can learn how to do some of the stuff yourself. So
buy a bones,
Kramer,
baby.
Thank you so much for joining us, man.
Hey, good luck getting out there back into the hunting, and let us know how it goes.
We'll have him back on the fall.
Yeah, we want to talk about. Are you going to do traditional?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. I've shot one elk with a compound before, and ironically enough, I was at 12 yards. I was like, why did I not have a traditional with me? So
man.
I'm not gonna let that happen again.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys so much.
Good deal, man. Well, thank you so much. We'll see you again, okay?